Our justice system is based on the principle of truth. But what happens when that truth is obscured by faulty evidence? On August 14, 1982, a crime was committed in Culpeper County, Virginia, that would change the lives of everyone involved. A young woman was sexually assaulted and murdered, and a man named Earl Washington Jr. was arrested, tried, and sentenced to death for the crime. But 17 years later, DNA evidence would prove his innocence. This is the story of the forensics behind the Earl Washington Jr. case. Earl Washington Jr. was a young man with a learning disability who had been in and out of trouble with the law. When he was picked up by the police a few days after the crime, he was initially questioned as a witness, but the interrogation quickly turned into an accusatory one, and Earl was eventually coerced into confessing to the crime.
Did you kill that woman?
No, sir.
But you told the police that you did.
Yes, sir.
Why did you tell the police that you did it?
I don't know.
You don't know?
No, sir.
Did you understand then that you were being accused of a murder?
No, sir.
You didn't understand that?
No, sir.
When the police officer was asking you questions, what did you think?
Oh, I don't know.
In a later interview, Earl said, "They kept asking me if I did it, and I kept saying no, but they just kept at it, and I got confused and scared. Eventually, I just told them what they wanted to hear." Earl spent 17 years in prison, 9 of which were on death row, after being falsely convicted of the crime. But enter the world of forensics. A new breed of scientific detectives armed with the tools to unearth truth hidden within the very fabric of our being, our DNA. In 1993, a team of legal and forensic experts from the University of Virginia took up Washington's case. They saw inconsistencies and the possibility that Earl Washington Jr. was innocent. In 1985, fellow death row inmate Joseph Giarratano took on Earl's case shortly before his execution was scheduled in September of that year. Giarratano contacted Mary Deans, a volunteer advocate with whom he had worked with, who helped to gain a stay of execution. Earl's defense attorneys gained approval in 1993 to conduct an analysis of DNA evidence from the crime scene. Results showed that Earl could not have made the semen stain originally found at the crime, and raised doubt that he was responsible for the crimes for which he was sentenced. The appeals court, however, refused to hear the case because Virginia has severe limitations on when new evidence can be introduced post-conviction. 9 days before Earl's rescheduled execution, Virginia's Governor, Douglas Wilder, commuted his sentence to life in prison. In 2000, after more accurate DNA testing connected another man to the crime, Earl was exonerated, receiving a full pardon from Governor James Gilmore. In 2006, Earl was awarded $2.25 million from the estate of Agent Curtis R. Wilmore, who had coerced the false confession from the defendant. In 2007, the state of Virginia and Wilmore's estate agreed to a settlement whereby Earl was to receive $1.9 million for wrongful conviction from the state. In 2007, Kenneth Tinsley, who was already serving a life sentence and had been identified in a review of the state DNA database as matching DNA from the crime scene, pleaded guilty to the rape and murder of Rebecca Lynn Williams. After spending 17 years in prison and coming within days of his execution on death row multiple times, Earl Washington Jr. was proven innocent and would once again be a free man. Unfortunately, though, Earl Washington Jr.'s life after exoneration wasn't easy, but he found the strength to move forward, forgiving those who had wronged him. His case sparked a revolution in forensic science. Today, DNA testing is widely used and has been instrumental in numerous exonerations. But the fight for justice is far from over. For every Earl Washington Jr., countless others languish behind bars, their voices unheard, their innocence unproven. We must strive to ensure our justice system lives up to its name, a system that delivers justice not just for a few, but for all. As we reflect on the case of Earl Washington Jr., we are reminded of the power of science, the importance of due process, and the indomitable human spirit in the face of adversity. This is the story of Earl Washington Jr. and forensics, a tale of justice delayed, but not denied, a testament to the transformative power of truth.